Alright, today I'm going to talk about two different types of fire starting methods. There are a myriad of other ways to start a fire. I mean, for example, using water in a water bottle, using the sun, a simple magnifying glass. Brian covered the friction fire series. Today I'm going to talk about your basic ferro rod and your flint and steel. First of all, the flint and steel, we have this here made by EC. It's got a little divot in there for your little bow drill so you can hold on to it. Pretty neat. It is a high carbon steel implement, so if you have a high carbon steel knife, you could also use the back of the knife too. The type of rock you would need is, here I've got a piece of flint rock, but any other type of glassy rock that's got a glassy surface, for example like quartz, you could use as well. The ferro rod series is basically a material that would give you a spark. What I have here is a fancy little thing I got in Alaska, but on the one side I have a magnesium piece with a ferro rod right on top. The magnesium is just basically to aid you because it gets up to a temperature of something like 2,000 degrees when you're using wood such as cedar or pine that's got an oily resin to it. That'll really get it going. Other than that, what I'm using for tinder is this tulip poplar bark. You could use cedar bark, like I said. Birch bark is really ideal because it does contain a highly combustible resin. If you have access to it, this is amazing stuff, jute twine. It really starts up a fire real quickly. You just pull the fibers apart and make yourself little bird's nests. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go through that. And we'll start a fire with each one. Now, we'll start off with the flint and steel components that we have here for the flint and steel. Now, take note that, of course, the flint and steel is not your first go-to, as you are going to require char cloth to start this fire. So obviously you're going to start a fire with a bow drill or something else like that. Once you've got that fire going, you can take pieces of cloth, say a t-shirt or anything like that. I used a little Altoids box, drill a hole in the top, and that's just to keep it dry. You place your cloth in there, close it up, stick it on a fire, and you basically cook out all the moisture, so it's just super dry cloth, as you can see here. And you just carry that around with you, and then from then on you can start your fire with a flint and steel, saving you a lot of energy and calories. So let's go ahead. We got our bird's nest over here, our char cloth. I'm going to put a few pieces in there just in case. There you go. That's way too much. Okay, put that aside. What I'm going to do here is just keep the char cloth close to the ground or the rock. Now there's two various methods. You can hold it by placing the cloth underneath the flint and going for it like that. My preferred method right now, because of the humidity out here, I'm going to have to strike this quite a few times, so I'm just going to hold the rock like that, get a good edge on it, take our steel and go ahead and strike it. There we go. See the glowing ember? And go ahead and put that in our little bird's nest. Ooh, voila. And yeah, it's hot. Anyway, so that's that. Next method is what we're going to talk about is the ferro rod method. What I'm first going to do is demonstrate the magnesium and basically the temperature that it works at. Now, to set this off, you basically use any kind of metal that's got a sharp edge on it. So, like I said, this steel that we used for the other fire, nice sharp 90-degree angle edge. Also, in other cases, you can get a knife, a very good knife like the EC makes, with a nice sharp edge on the back side of it to let her go. Alright, I'm going to use this. Go ahead and get some of this magnesium off. To give you an idea of how hot this magnesium burns. Let's use this little guy. Now there's two different methods that a lot of people use. First of all, is striking with your implement or holding this still and using your ferro rod to pull back. I prefer that method. Super white hot. Anyhow, now I'll go ahead and put that away. Use a big bad boy. Now just to give you an idea of how quick a ferro rod can set something on fire, we'll go ahead and show you. This is the jute twine, this is the tulip poplar bark. That didn't take no time. 2 strikes.